Welcome to London's craziest gangster with me, Mr. Fish, the boss. Crash out your father, whose motto is, if angels fly and devils die, how come I'm still alive? Balls. Yeah, well, you may have seen me, Terry Oatway and Ray Hill yesterday, filming for the new documentary about ourselves or myself, and on the bag. Do you know, Terry and Joanne told me I'm 61 today. And I didn't even know it. It must be the glasses and the baseball cap. And I'm not in a suit today, and I like to be in a suit, but I thought, you know what, I need to keep going. If I go home now and don't put a suit on, so I'm coming this way today. Yeah, you saw me and Ray Hill. He was bullying me, weren't he? And I hate when he said, I hate when he said he's been looking at me in the shower, and then when I said to him, oh, I wonder what that big thing was in your pocket, he turned around and said it was a knife. I mean, honestly, it really killed me. Anyway, crash out your father. So we've done Spring Hill, which was a DCAT, and we got kicked out of Spring Hill for the drug test, and people were talking about it. So crash out your father. We're now going to Bullingdon. Bullingdon is a CCAT, Nick, in Oxford, Aylesbury, Oxford, and Bullingdon, brilliant, Nick. There's some right good laughs in there. There's proper stunners in Bullingdon as well. They got some models in, but Bullingdon was also where I met my good pal, Callum Madonna. Now, Callum, mate. Callum got an IPP sentence at 15 years of age. I mean, come on. 15 years of age for having a fight and stamping on another kid's head, and he got 99 years. It's ridiculous, isn't it? But he got it. And when I got to Bullingdon, it was funny because Callum Cragg, time to see the eyes. But the eyes don't lie. So Callum, he was 15 when he got the IPP. So crash out your father. He's got in there. And where it was, Callum just sat down in his cell, and all that boy done during his years away was watch UFC and MMA films and magazines, and he used to train. God bless it. He used to train with everybody, like prisoners, prison officers, gym crew, anyone who could, he was just a loon, like he knew all the holes, all the bars. And but the problem was when I got to Bullingdon, I met Callum, because I'm a boxing coach, and we got together quite well. But I noticed people were using him to be like henchmen for him, and go and give people a slap in the neck. And I said, no. Yeah. So I got him under the wing. I said, Callum, look, mate, you're not a follower, you're a leader. You've got to stop, letting people use you to sort out their problems, So crash out your father. Me and Callum. Oh my Callum is a lunatic. Mate, we'd be in the shower, and I'll have a laugh. And I'll do something, and he just pisses in the shower. I'm like, okay, fuck off from me. I was a lunatic. The laughs we used to have. But with Callum, crash, what happened? Callum, because he was into MMA, I used to say, right, let's train him, because I'm a boxing coach and that. And so I used to train him, and oh my God, did we used to train. When me and Callum used to train, we would go to the gym, and everything we'd done sometimes. So we would have 80 key for squats, and we'd do 100 reps. We'd do 100 key, and we'd do 50 reps. Mate, but everything we did was 100 reps, 100 reps. We was lunatics, and we'd be on the yard, and we'd run and crash, We even in the rain, we'd train in the puddles, and we were just loons, like, for training. And mate, Callum, you should have seen him. Callum McDonald from Oxford. Listen, he was lean, slick and lean like a fighting machine. Ah, both, mate, he was on it, on it. Ah, we trained, you know, and that's the thing. As you just, a lot of people, I'm 61 now, and they were saying about the boxing video I did with Ray yesterday while we was filming for my documentary, Crash. They were going, Fish, you're fast, you're quick. You know, like now I've always been on it. I've always been on it. But Callum makes me look like I'm walking out in the park. And we used to have some great laughs. You know? Callum and Thomas, and we just had the crank in there, you know. And it was just brilliant in there. It was all about fitness for us, and we used to be on the wing, but we used to be on the wing and sort out any headaches and. You know, but funny enough, I think Bullingdon was the only nick where I wasn't induction, you know. But Crash How's Your Father, we still had a great laugh and you know, lots of it. It was just mad. Bullingdon, you know, people getting killed. Pitsy, how are you, kid? Jamie Rokins. Oh no, Jamie Rokins was from Spring Hill. Thomas, yeah. It was just, Bullingdon was just madness. It was a funny job, Bullingdon. It was really a funny job. No, not really much happened for me in Bullingdon because, I don't know, I was there a while, but I was on the wing. I don't even know what I've done now. I think I was a wing cleaner. I don't know what I was there, but Crash, it wasn't really much an eventful prison where anything really had taken place. There were, you know, I'd seen fights on the wing, but one funny thing was I used to take all the boys on the pads there, and it was great because I always used to flip flops for the pads and Crash How's Your Father. We used to have them all down on the pad, and they used to love it there. And the officers, most of the officers used to, but you know, you sometimes get one, he wanted to stop, and I was like, well, stop for what? You know, but we carried on. We weren't hurting no one. We just keeping them fit. They weren't, as long as they weren't using it against the prison officers and using it. What was the issue? You know, it got rid of their stress, and they had something to do. Which otherwise would have been a monotonous, boring shit time for them. You know what I mean? So I made it as best a time for them as I could, and it was crazy, absolutely crazy. You know, but other than that, I didn't. You know, I had no tear ups in there. Connor, my main issue was getting Callum. My main issue was getting Callum because the problem is, you see. They say about prison, Crash, they say, prisoner. They say if you go into prison at 15, you come out at 15. You know what I mean? Because you're not going through the normal hoops of life as you would do, growing up from 15, 16, 17, 18, 21. So you still remain young. So by the time I got to Bullingdon, Callum was about 20, and I noticed they were using him to bully people and all that, and to sort out their headache. And so I had to call Cal and say, look, come here, kid. That's not what you're about. And then I had to get him educated. I had to replace his father role, the role that he had, didn't I? I had to get him from 15 to a man before he got out. And that meant, getting him to read books and educate himself. And I'll tell you, he educated him he's very educated, that kid now. And Callum, I tell him, we had to do his parole pad. He kept getting knockbacks and all that. You have to remember with an IPP, Crash How's Your Father. You have to remember, an IPP has to sit on a parole board every year, to get released. And the thing is, if you don't know how to do your parole board properly, or your papers, or how to write you're sorry and forgive it can be hard work, or how to address, if the parole board think that you need to address certain issues, if you don't know how to put in writing that you've addressed those issues, then they hold you back. And so, I had to teach him how to deal with the parole board, how to deal with probation service. But he learned it all. He was wicked. He was a great learner. He learned it all, and in the end, eventually he got released. And when he got released, I'm sure he won the Southern Area UFC title in 6 months. He was a machine. He would fight everybody. Everyone. No, listen, you weren't beating Callum. You can imagine, 15. All you're doing is watching UFC and MMA movies. You're just mad. Callum, you're a don. I still see him now and again. He's still my best mate. He's still, mate. What? Let me tell you. And but you know, and also you got to remember, 15. You come out at 22, and I always remember, this is funny. So I remember talking to Carrie, and he said, I'm not going to have kids. And it always makes me laugh when people say that to you, because always the ones who say they're never going to have kids, they have about 89. Yeah. So, boss, he said, I'm not going to have kids. I said, Callum, you'll have kids. And he got out, he couldn't believe it. I'd done his paperwork for him. He got out, he was so over the moon. And I got out later and he said, I've got a kid. And I went, told you. But, you know, and it's sad because he has to go through all the hoops of that he should have gone through from 18 to 20. He's got to start them hoops from 22 now, so it's mayhem, you know. But he's done really well. He's adjusted well. He went back again, you know, because it's hard, you know, it's a struggle. And sometimes, you know, when you're young, 15 to 22, 8 years in it, you become institutionalised, and sometimes you think, is it better in there than it is out here? Do you know what I mean? Same for me sometimes. We have that because we fly, you know what I mean? Don't matter where we are, we fly, you know. And but he changed his life around, and he's wicked, got lovely kids now. He's working hard. Yeah, he's a good man, my boy Callum. And Callum McDonald from Oxford, a proper G. So, you know, you always have to help people in prison, you know, with their paperwork, or if you see them being used and used the wrong way by other people who are more mature than them, and you know, it was just hard work. But hey, he done it. He survived it. He's out. So yeah, so Bullingdon, there wasn't really, there was no real incidents. There was nothing crash. There was nothing really to do this podcast on. I mean, I'm trying to think now of anything to recall that was great and wonderful. But the only thing was me and Callum did 100 reps of everything we did. We was good in the gym. We did body circuits on the yard every day. We run for an hour. And we were just absolute machines, you know, proper fitness machines. And it turned out well for both of us. He got released before me, for the 3-4 years before me, and we've still remained the closest of pals to this day. And that's the thing about prison. You can meet people in prison, and when you get out, you're friends for life. You know what I mean? You just have that friendship, you know, and you're friends for life, and that bond. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, he rings me at mine. He was really, really in trouble. Then I have to do what I'll do, another one. But he's got a lovely girlfriend now, wife, Ada. You know, fair play to him. But what a battle. Can you imagine getting 99 years at 50? I mean, what does that do to you? Do you know what I mean? As a young kid, 50. And it was, what for standing on another kid's head during a fight? It's ridiculous. And, you know, can you imagine what that must have done to that kid? 99 years at 15 years of age. I mean, it must have, mate, how he survived it and come out all right, I really don't know. I really don't. I only hope that the last couple of years that me and him spent together and teaching him and helping him, because that was really my role. I had to get this kid to, you know, to read and learn about life, and, you know, to behind the bars of barbed wire windows made with bars and walls and fucking prison officers and sniffer dogs. You know what I mean? It was crazy. And another thing about being 15 and receiving IP. Remember, you're a kid. Remember, life is about making mistakes. That's what life's about, yeah? That's why my middle name is Mistakes. The only problem is, I never learn from them. Cry! I love all that. But, yeah, it was, you know, 15, it must have been mad. Oh, mate, 99 years. Crazy, isn't it? Yeah, old Callum Madonna. You know, very, very good man. Yeah. So, you know, I ain't really got much to say. That was it, really, Madonna. I can only say yesterday, me and Bang Bang Ray Hill, we had a brilliant time filming the documentary. And I don't know if you saw that podcast. You go and Bang Bang on my channel, you see it. And he put me through it. Mate, I'd done 15 minutes on the bag before. Mate, I'm an old man. To do 15 minutes non-stop. Now, what people don't realise when I'm saying I've done 15 minutes on the bag non-stop, what they have to realise is I've done a 15-minute body circuit first. And then after the body circuit, I went straight in to a 15-minute weightlifting, but with the bar and non-stop, using the bar, press up, press from shoulders, curls, squats, for non-stop for 15 minutes, and then on the bag for 15 minutes. So, you know, I should have been really tired, but and it was the first time I'd ever done 15 minutes on the bag. I just needed to know. Sometimes I like to push myself to the extreme, you know what I mean? I need to see, and I've got to be honest. Crash like your father, yeah. I've got to be honest, listen. When that clock got to 12 minutes, I'm looking at that clock, I'm thinking, I can't do this. I can't do this. But you know what? I've got that thing in my... I will go... You know, one thing about me when it comes to training, I will go through a brick wall if I have to. I've got that mind, yeah. It's like when I wear the 15-kilo vest, yeah, and I do 3 hours in it. And no training, I just get up and do it. It's just... I don't know how I've acquired that skill, but it's just something I've always had. And that's why I always tell people. A lot of people, when I say come and train with me for boxing or fighting, they run from me because they think I don't know what I'm doing. But, mate, I always tell anybody, Eddie Chatty, anyone who boxes, mate, if you want to be a champion, come and train with me. And people think, because I'm mad in the way I train. But, mate, I'm telling you, no one, I don't care who you are, no one can train you better for fighting than me. Mate, I'm a baller. Mate, I love it. I make you go through brick walls. You know, I train on brick walls, bare handful. Mate, I absolutely love fighting. I love training. I love it. And the things I do are different from everyone else. You know, I make you run in a 15-kilo vest. I make you hit the trees. Mate, I'm not easy. I'm not easy. When I used to teach the pros, what I've done, the thing is, because they were pros, what I used to do was make them do weights, yeah, different. So we go in the weights and you do squats, press from chest, curls. But I may do 40 reps, yeah, for an hour and a half non-stop. So you don't just do one set or go press your chest and then put the bar down. You go press it, then you go there, then you do squats, and then you go to there, and then you do lat pull down or dumbbells. So you do that for an hour and a half, and then you do half an hour on the bag. So, mate, I only wanted to do that I think they thought I was going to do it all the time, but I only do it for the first 2-3 sessions because I want to know if you can do that, then I know you want to be a champion. I know you're ready for war. I know you're prepared to fight. And that's what I'm about. I don't do boxing. I mean, I respect boxing. I respect boxers. But what I'm telling you is there are billions of boxers all over the world, but who can actually fight, who can take it on the chin and get knocked down and get up and roll again. And not just physically, but mentally in your life. You know, in your life when, you know, you have kids, bills, problems, worries, disabilities. You have to fight all these issues. But I notice in today's climate, so many people, I don't know, especially kids, and they just seem so vulnerable, so weak now. They don't have the same perseverance as a lot of the old school. I don't know if society likes it like that, you know. But, you know, it's scary, really, because, you know, being a human being, just a human being, don't matter what colour, race, religion, and none of that matters. Just being a human being can be hard work. And I'm talking about hard work in a society where, I'm not trying to be funny, I mean, me and people that live in England, in this country, I mean, I know there's a battle going on, but the battle's there. But what I'm trying to tell you is we can't really complain about life. We can't, because just over the road in Russia, Ukraine, is a war dropping on people's nuts and heads and taking away their life, mate, living in fear, you know, mate, being blown away, you know, like, mate, we in England, we need to understand, how lucky we are, man, that we can sit and do podcasts, we can sit and have a laugh and go around people's houses for dinner. I mean, the fact that we have cars and motorbikes and but look at the things. Look at the things that we have and take for granted. I mean, Fair play, my little Joy, he paid for me my PS5. Wow, we just take so much for granted in it, and we're so busy slagging off the government and fucking this and that. But when you look, 61 years on the earth, yeah, and wearing a Boss baseball cap, mate, we have got nothing to complain about. We ain't. I'm sorry, we missed the war. All right, we had the racist struggles and all that, and we did what we had to do, and we've managed to get to where we are today. But, I'm not trying to be funny here. I mean, people are dying every day on boats to get here, climbing, sneaking underneath planes and holding on to wheels on planes and to get here. I mean, this is, and we don't see it. You don't see anyone from England, do you? Getting on a boat to go to any other country, do you? You don't see us clinging onto wheels underneath a plane, do you? To go to any other country, they do it to get here. So you really do have to understand your country and how lucky we are. It is. We do. We live in the. I say we live in the best country in the world, and other people think I've been brainwashed, mate. I'm not brainwashed, mate. I look at my infrastructure. I look at the environment. I look at the education we achieve. I mean, all right. You say, it might not always get you where you want to be, and you might not always be able to meet the dream that we're promised. But let me tell you, most people can put their head down somewhere warm. The Crown even pays the rent, housing benefit. The Crown even gives you money if you're not working. I mean, come on. When I hear people complaining about the country, I just laugh. I'm like, mate, are you off your head? Even in prison. Even prison sometimes. Even prison, yeah. Sometimes it's crap, mate. We had the best time in prison. Oh, mate. We made Alton Towers look like a walk round the park. We made Fort Park look like a walk round the park. We had the greatest, one of the best timing. We made Butlins look like... We did. You have to understand your life and where you are. You've got to understand it. Too many people take it for granted. Too many people take our lives for granted in this country, and that's the issue. That's the problem. Yeah? Too busy worrying about ourselves and thinking we're not, feeling sorry for ourselves and thinking we got nothing, we got this, and we're always trying to aspire. Everyone wants to be happy with what they want, but see me, I'm a man who said be happy with what you got, not what you want. If you're happy with what you got, then you can fight for what you want. But if you're not happy with what you got, then are you ever going to be happy? And what if you don't get what you want? And that's why I always say to people, live your life. Yeah? And when things happen, things happen, don't they? Things go wrong. Oh, well, crash. But out the bad comes the good. That's it. End of story. It's our relationships. It's mad. But all those things what go wrong, that's only in the mind. And then we bring it out. It's all about education, So, crash. I mean, live your life, man. Come on. Live it. Yeah. People stabbing each other, shooting each other. Hello? What the fuck are you shooting each other for? What are you stabbing each other for? It's mad. Why? Why? It's funny. You know what? All the people that have ever called for unity and peace have been assassinated. So maybe there's a little something in that. Maybe people don't want you to unite. Maybe people don't want you to be together. Maybe people don't want you to come together as one and unite. Maybe people don't You know, and I don't know. Who am I? You know, I don't know. But just sometimes you do have to ask that question, don't you? You know, you know, and you just have to live your life the best you can. And I think another thing you have to do is, mate, don't worry about what people say about you, do about you, because you know another thing I've noticed, yeah, people say things about you, but for me, you know what, I let them say, you know why? Because I think, well, you're going to say, why don't you ask me? If you've got something to ask me or say about it, ask me. And I'll tell you whether it's true or I'll tell you why it was there, or I'll tell you why. But ask me, but don't just down telling people blah, blah, blah. And ask me and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you. It's not an issue. But I am not going to come to you and say, where are you? Because I think, well, if you think that of me, then it just shows you how limited, how shallow and stupid you are. Because if you ask me, I'll tell you the reason why. It's not an issue. Nothing's an issue for me. I don't do issues. And that's why I laugh. I always laugh at people. All right, cool. Do what you want. Yeah, but what I'm saying to you is, be you, be happy being you. I don't watch Next Man. I'm not into. Don't watch Next Man. I don't watch the next one. Just be happy. Because that's all it's about, you know. Be yourself, regardless of what being yourself is, as long as it's not a serial killer. Yeah. 10 bodies in the bathroom, you know, under the floorboard, you know what I mean? Crash. Be yourselves. See what I mean? That's it. End the story. You know, come be happy. Well, look, it's a short podcast today. Bullingdon, there was not much to say. So this is what I'm saying. Sometimes when I'm away, I'm like, well, look, if there's not much to talk about, why really talk? You know, I don't like to mention names. I don't mean people I've got who would make me look like I walk around a park, but they don't want to come in front of the camera. So for me, if there's nothing to talk about, I don't really want to talk. I don't really want to touch on politics too much because you get cancelled and it'd be choked instead of vote. Yeah. I only hope that the documentary, we can get it together. And Crash How's Your Father, I hope everyone will like it when it comes out and buy it and, you know, well, go and watch it. I hope everybody likes the channel. I hope everyone likes what I'm trying to achieve. You know, and even me, you know, we make mistakes sometimes, but hey, who doesn't? And life is about making mistakes. And I hate it. Oh, I hate it. When I see parents, especially today, oh, don't do this, don't do that, don't. You're in a park and you hear your parent, oh, stop it, don't do that, don't play it. Like, mate, kids are never allowed to get their character now, and it's sad, and it's very sad. Very sad. So, yeah, but then again, it's hard for parents, isn't it? I mean, for parents now, it's all about, it's like everything's thrown at parents to scare them, isn't they? You know, I mean, now you can't look at politics, you always worry about your kid, and it's out of order. We never had that before. Now you got to worry if your kids are going to come home from school. Are they going to come home from the shops? Are they going to go? It's mad, isn't it? Mad, isn't it? But hey, other countries have got there. Yeah, in America they go through the same thing. But sometimes you have to ask, you sure it's not created by other people to be like that? And sometimes you really do have to ask yourself, I mean, well, maybe it is, because up until this point we were doing all right, you know. There were police stations. There were police stations. There were police officers visible on the street. And you know, when people take all that away just to get money for themselves, then you have to ask, is it being created? But anyway, look, it's 29 minutes. I'm just trying to use up the time. It's a short podcast. There's nothing happened at Bullingdon. Unless anyone from Bullingdon wants to comment and tell me that something did happen at Bullingdon when I was there and I forgot it. Because remember, I've got dementia and I keep forgetting to mention it. I mean, and the only thing about having dementia and keep forgetting to mention it is at least I don't always have to live with myself. I can forget myself, you know what I mean? Like, right, I'm out of here. Bars. See you soon with the loon. Crash.